Obi live.
It's now 9 a.m. I'll call the Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans, April 16, 2025. Board Director meeting to order. Special counsel, please call the roll.
Clerk Cantrell. Councilmember King. Director Barnes. Director Duplessis. Present. Director Kennedy.
Here.
Director Cole. Director Pacho.
Here.
Director Sloss.
Here.
Director Howard.
Here.
Director Scholas.
Here.
Director Antrup.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much for that, special counsel. Before we start the regular business of the meeting today, I'd like to make some remarks regarding Executive Director, Mr. Corbin. Since joining the Sewage and Water Board in New Orleans in 2018, Hassan's led this utility through a period of extraordinary transformation, tackling decades of deferred maintenance, introducing new technologies, restoring confidence in our ability to deliver essential water services. As this is Hassan's last meeting with us, I'd like to take a minute to highlight a few of his major accomplishments. It'll probably take more than a minute because there's an awful lot of it. Hassan championed a long overdue effort to make our city's drinking water more resilient, thanks to 2 new water towers and key pump upgrades that nearly eliminated citywide boil water advisories, which is a big deal. Under Hassan's leadership, utility has made unprecedented strides in customer service as well. Smart metering program now more than halfway complete. It's already replaced 100,000 meters to 140,000 total, and launched a new online account. He advanced construction of the new power complex, which we'll see later today, a generational investment in reliable power for our drainage and drinking water systems. We're on track to bring the first phase online by peak hurricane season this year, which is an essential milestone. For those of you who may have forgotten, it's a $300 million plus project we completed in less than 3 years, which is a big deal. From the historic $2.3 billion JIRR program to ongoing upgrades at both East Bank and West Bank wastewater treatment plants, Hassan's leadership has been instrumental in modernizing our city's infrastructure. As you know, Hassan's never shied away from the toughest challenges. He worked closely with our federal partners in the consent decree, helping us replace over 270 miles of sewer mains, nearly 20% of the entire city's entire system, and secured a $275 million WIFIA loan to keep that work moving forward. Looking to the future, Hassan's launched a comprehensive water quality master plan and began the process of bringing the city's entire drainage system, every catch basin, monoline under one roof where it belongs. This list is only a fraction of what Hassan's helped achieve, but it's not just about the projects, it's about rebuilding trust with our customers and creating a utility that New Orleans can rely on for generations. Hassan, your leadership's brought transparency, purpose, and momentum to the Sewage and Water Board, and you've left the utility in a stronger position than you found it, which is an absolute fact. I remember very well when you came, it's the hurricane in the Gulf and your house on fire and everything else, and you have been a fabulous leader and a good friend to us, and we wish you the very best in your future. Hope you get to spend a lot of time with your grandchildren. That's your plan. Thank you.
That is indeed my plan.
All right, we now have approval of the minutes dated March 19, 2025. We have a motion to approve minutes of that date.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved, properly seconded. Are there any questions? Any, we don't have to do a public comment on that? No. I'm gonna learn. All in favor, please so signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Bringing us to committee reports, the first of which will be the Governance Committee report. Director Kennedy, you provide the April 8, 2025 Governance Committee report.
Thank you. The Governance Committee met on Tuesday, April 8th in the Executive Boardroom. The meeting convened at approximately 9:04 a.m. Present were myself, Directors Howard, Cole, and Barnes. Members absent, Director Sloss. We had an additional director present, Director Scholas. Presentation items, Jamie Parker, Interim Chief of Staff, provided an update on the 2025 legislative session. Ms. Parker announced that the session will commence on April 14th and is expected to conclude by June 12th. Sewage and Water Board's priority this year is securing $29 million in capital outlay, which would be directed towards specific power complex projects. Ms. Parker also discussed several bills that have been filed concerning Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans, including the utilities governance, stormwater fee funding, and employment lists for certain appointed positions. The committee requested that Sewage and Water Board staff reach out to legislators who authored the bills to schedule meetings to learn more. The committee also asked staff to provide additional information relative to the bills. Additionally, Ms. Parker delivered an update regarding federal funding requests for fiscal year 2026, specifically addressing improvements to the water treatment plants and wastewater treatment plants. Executive leadership from the General Superintendent's Office is scheduled to meet with members of Congress to discuss the utilities funding requests. There were no public comments. There was no further business to come before the Governance Committee. Therefore, Director Cole moved to adjourn. Director Barnes seconded. The motion carried. The meeting was adjourned at approximately 9:33 a.m.
Thank you, Director Kennedy. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Bringing us, could we recognize Director Barnes has joined the meeting? Welcome, Director Barnes. Director Howard will provide the April 9, 2025 Finance Committee report.
The Finance and Administration Committee met on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Meeting convened at 9 a.m. Present were Directors Howard, Pacho, and Kennedy. Absent were Directors Lawson, Barnes. Gray Lewis, the Chief Financial Officer, presented an update on the February 2025 preliminary financial results and liquidity position, and also gave information on the March and February collections. Staff provided an update on a meeting held March 26 with HGI, Curo staff, and 2 directors. And they also provided an update on a separate meeting held on April 2nd with that group. And the action items included resolution authorizing execution of a restated plan document for the deferred compensation plan. There were 2 contract awards, renewals, approved 2 contract change orders by ratification and 2 by final acceptance. There is no public comment, and the meeting adjourned around 9:40.
Thank you, Director Howard. May we have a motion to approve? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Probably move. Any questions? Probably moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you. Bringing us now to the Ad hoc Committee report. Director Kennedy, would you provide the April 9, 2025 Ad hoc Committee report, please?
Sure. The Ad hoc Committee met on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025 in the Executive Boardroom. The meeting convened at approximately 10 o'clock a.m. Present were myself, Directors Howard, Pacho, Anthrop, and Cole. Absent, Director Sloss. Non-members present, Director Scholas. We entered into executive session. Director Pacho moved that motion. Director Howard seconded and carried. The committee met in executive session to review qualifications for candidates identified in the National Executive Director Search and related matters. This discussion included sensitive details of the committee's bargaining position, the provision of legal services to the committee, and matters subject to lawyer-client privilege as provided by Louisiana Code of Evidence, Article 506. I presented a motion to exit executive session. Director Cole moved. Director Howard seconded. The motion carried. There's one action item on the agenda, recommendation for individuals eligible for the position of executive director. It was asked for the motion to defer that action item. Director Anthrop moved. Director Pacho seconded. Motion carried. Being there was no further business before the ad hoc committee on April 9th, Director Pacho moved to adjourn. Director Howard seconded. The motion carried. The meeting was adjourned at approximately 11:30 a.m. There was a special ad hoc meeting. Ad hoc committee met on Tuesday, April 15th in the executive boardroom. The meeting, sorry.
Excuse me one second. I think we need to approve the minutes from the first.
Yes.
First.
Okay. Go together. Okay, sounds good.
Is there a motion to approve the April 9 Ad hoc Committee report?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you. The Ad hoc committee met on Tuesday, April 15th in the executive boardroom. The meeting convened at approximately 8:01 a.m. Present were myself, Directors Howard, Director Anthrop, Director Sloss, Director Pacho, and Director Cole. I presented a motion to enter into executive session. Director Pacho moved, Director Sloss seconded, the motion carried. The committee convened into private executive session. I moved to exit executive session. Director Howard moved, Director Cole seconded, the motion carried. There was an action item. Presented a motion to approve the recommendation of the individuals eligible for the position of executive director. Director Anthrop moved, Director Pacho seconded, the motion carried. Director Anthrop announced the committee has selected the final two candidates, Bethany Bezak and Randy Heyman. The ad hoc committee will soon begin the interview process. There was no public comment. Being there was no further business to come before the ad hoc committee, Director Anthrop moved to adjourn, Director Howard seconded. The motion carried, the meeting was adjourned at approximately 12:09 p.m.
Thank you, Director Kennedy. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Move properly second. Any questions?
One question,
Please.
we have 12:09 a.m. I don't know if that matters, but I always want to check.
One move time.
We weren't there that long.
It's 12:09 p.m.
Yeah.
And
We can-
motion to amend.
Can amend the minutes to reflect 12:09 p.m., please.
So moved.
With that change in mind, are there any other questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Bringing us now to our fearless leader's last and final executive director's report. Executive Director Corbin, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, directors. Today I'm going to take the liberty of not having an actual report to share with you, but I think you will see that progress is being made, and I will share some stats, typical stats that you typically hear as I go through my remarks. I do want to start by thanking you, Mr. Chairman, for your very kind introductory remarks. I can't say enough to, again, I've done it before and do it again. Thank you for have given me the opportunity to be the leader of this utility for 6.5 years. Some of you were here and you were part of the selection. Some came on board, and your support have been unmatched and huge game changer for me. So again, I can't thank you enough for that. We've been through a lot of tough situations, a lot of ups and flows, a lot of successes, a lot of failures. You mentioned the WIFIA, groundbreaking of the power complex, installing the first smart meters, and a lot of milestones. And we've also endured a lot of failures. With the battle-tested men and women of the department, we've grew stronger, recovered, obviously much stronger and better. And I'm just very, very proud of the leadership team that we have today. And I know as we move forward, potentially with your final decision, I have full confidence that the leadership team here will be a very, very instrumental piece of the success of the utility and the continuous momentum, and they will offer whoever you choose the utmost support that he or she will need to keep momentum going. So today I want to make it more about a few folks that are very special to me, and for a variety of reasons. And behind every success, every milestone, every time I've publicly shared and talked about things, even when I'm reflecting on my own, often, if not always, I would say invariably always, a specific person come to mind. So when I'm sharing with you the successes of the smart meter program, and I tell you that there's 102,000 meters installed, Becca Johnson comes to mind. And that says a lot, and it took a team to get us where we are. But when I think of like the moment where I know, now director title, but one time when he was on this side and we started the program, you know, we needed a strong leader to move forward, very critical project. And the confidence that Becca showed and gave us to move forward with that project is just, you know, you can't describe how you feel when you feel like you find the right person. And proven accurately and correctly, obviously, you know, a couple of years later with 102 in the ground, 1,000 in the ground. So that's why she's, you know, on my list of people that I will always think, you know, very, very highly of and appreciative. The other person is CJ. CJ runs our pumping operation. And when I first met him, he said, you know, I've been here for 40 plus years, and even when I started, these pieces of equipment were old. And then you move forward 40 years later, and he's still managing the same pieces of equipment. I mean, remarkable. And I always, like, when I met him, I thought, what a true, just, you know, grounded guy. He matters. But every time I would call, at the time Bob Turner, I would call Ron Spooner. When I called Caitlin or Steve and say, what's going on? He said, let me call CJ. Let me call CJ. And CJ, you have no idea where is he? There he is. How often his name comes up. And so when I think of the pumping operation and what goes on and the social knowledge that this gentleman has and all the intricate and moving parts that he's responsible for. So when I think pumping, I think CJ, and I can't thank him enough for everything he does. And I hope he stays with us for a long time. I don't want to see it. I keep hinting he's leaving, but I don't know where it is. Another very dear person is Ann Wilson to me. Like when I met her, I knew she's just one of the most professional and competent people we have. I mean, she's just got everything handled. And then when we made a very significant operational change, you know, relative to our waste treatment plant, and I remember Ron and I talking about what needs to be done, and then Ann steps in and she took on a huge piece that she had nothing to do, you know, with, and just folded it under her purview and has done an enormous job corralling, you know, the operations and putting us in a very, very good place in terms of meeting regulations, but also advancing projects. And it's kind of like a behind-the-scene operation that nobody thinks about, you know, wastewater and what happens with that, but then very, very instrumental in terms of moving the needle in a very, very big way. With that comes Corwin Washington, who works with Ann too, and I think of him as like a young, thoughtful leader. He wants to be, you know, an instrumental part of this utility, and has come to me often looking for insight, looking for advice, and just every time his name is mentioned, everybody loves Corwin. You know, like gives the utility a good brand, a good name, and just makes me feel good when his name comes up. And I have no doubt that he'll be one of our future leaders. So I'm very, very thankful that he's part of our team. Another person that I cannot think of or feel like when it comes to the power complex, the water hammers, all the things that, you know, have been going on, and behind the scenes, you know, there's a Chris Bergeron who's sitting right behind me, who's done an enormous, remarkable job, you know, a $300 million project, you know, keeping it moving forward with a lot of political attention and media attention, and staying the course, navigating through so much, and getting us to the point where we're gonna obviously showcase the project with you today. Just quietly and very diligently, just working every day, just making very tough decisions. And again, you know, when I think power complex, I think of Chris Bergeron. Another person that I want to share with you, I don't know if he made it or not, doesn't look like he did, is Ashraf. We call him Ash. He works for Networks. And I know we get a lot of calls, you know, about leaks and holes and this and that. And at one point, we had somebody in charge that, you know, just was not working out for us. And there was a hole or a void that was left behind when that person left. And when that happens, you're immediately looking who can fill that void. And I had a very tough conversation with Ash. She's a young engineer, and I said, Ash, I'm gonna lean on you, and this is very big. And he looked at me and said, Mr. Kupan, I'm ready, just give me the opportunity. And man, you know, the paving cuts that dwindled down from 3,000 to about, say, 500. I mean, when I think of that success, I think of Ashraf. And finally, I wanna finish with very, very early on moments in this utility. When I came down after I had been selected, and there was a time where a waiting period was selected in June or July, and it didn't start until September. And I was given the job, but I really didn't know much about the utility. I wasn't given an opportunity to tour the facility. I didn't meet a lot of people, so I came down on a trip on my own and wanted to meet, you know, folks. And then I came here, and Ben Poole was given the opportunity to tour me around. And he, except it was like 95-degree day, it was July or August, and we're walking into where the turbines are. He introduced me to T4 and T5. And I'm like standing there in awe, like, what is this? and then Ben is just like yakking away, just talking about this and that, what we've done here and what we're gonna do here. And it's like, how did you learn all this stuff? He said, where did you go to school? He said, I've learned it here. I've been here for a long time, and I just love it. And ever since, you know, we had a bond. Ben and I just, you know, we don't see each other a lot, but when I think of, you know, turbine 4 is working or turbine 4 is down, I think of Ben Poole. And I know it takes a lot of more people to run operations, but Ben is my guy. So with that, I will be handing coins to each of them. This is an idea that our CEO, Dave Callahan, introduced to me way back when, bringing his military experience. And he said, this would be a good token to show people that you care about and you love. And so I'll be doing that in a minute. So with that, you know, because people behind me, I leave the utility feeling so good about the future, about, you know, who cares, you know, how much they care, and I just leave with an awesome experience and just a lot of beautiful feelings about the people behind me and everybody in the room, and just I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. So.
Well, thank you very much, and typical of you, giving credit to everybody else, which is wonderful. And thanks for sharing the information about everybody that you did with us this morning. I know I'll certainly miss you, and the agency will as well. So, on to more mundane matters, corresponding resolution.
So President Pro Tem, we have one corresponding resolution that will need to be deferred. The GIS office has asked us to defer item 5F, resolution 42-2025, for final acceptance of contract 1415. So we will need a motion to defer item 5F, resolution 42-2025.
So may we have that motion, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That specific item has been deferred. May I have a motion to approve the 6 corresponding resolutions in Globo, which would be R 62-2025, R 48-2025, R 49-2025, R 27-2025, R 42-2025, and R 44-2025. Did I get that right?
Except 42-2025. Just,
Oh, I scratched out 20, I'm sorry. So R 43, 2025 should have been included, R 42 excluded. Do I need to reread it?
No, that's fine. And the last one is Resolution 44, 2025.
I said that.
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna replay the tape.
I believe you, I believe
Is
you.
there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The motion carries, which brings us to executive session. And we need a motion, please, to enter executive session.
So moved.
Go second? Second. Crawford seconded. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We're in executive session. We'll take the vote. Everybody do it. I'm excited. Got my steel-toed shoes on.
Okay.
We're live.
May I have a motion to exit executive session?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved, properly seconded. Are there any questions? Good with this. All in favor? Please say so.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now in regular session. And we have a special moment right now. I think Steve's got something to present to Gassan.
One instrument for a refined individual. So it's my pleasure to be able to present to you this commemorative plaque of your service for the Sewerage and Water Board. And you mentioned the word leadership. You're so much more than a boss. You're a leader. You empower your people, and the programs and projects that you're selflessly taking a miss on the ribbon cutting, the smart meters, the Carrollton Water Plant Power Project, and all of these other things are things that you have made happen by your leadership. So this is just a small token, and please don't drop it because it'll break your foot.
All right. So we got a camera good.
Nice to meet you, Governor, for your response.
All right,
Well, thank you.
before we adjourn, we have a cadre of citizens who've been very helpful to the Sewage and Water Board, and just, y'all have anything you'd like to say to this board right here? No? Okay. In that case, thanks for all y'all have done. Kazan, again, thank you for spectacular leadership and great time.
We might say we've already held the dinner for him, so we've got a lot of the dinner.
I'm sure it was good. Are there any there are information items that are attended to your normal package? Are there any public comments? No. If no other matters, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor, so signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. We're adjourned. I think we're going through the tour. Where do we go?